back to Jeff Koinange live at the poolside of the Intercontinental Hotel. What a show! What guests we had today. When Tony Gachoka shows up, you know it's going to be a shocker. When you throw in Professor Makau Mutua, well, it's no holds barred, folks. I've been calling it Rumble in the Jungle all day. That's what it is, the Battle Royale. Let me just read a tweet from a guy you know very well, Ahmed Nasir Abdullahi, the Grand Mullah himself. He says, Uhuru and Ruto cases are the most important for fundraising for the ICC. When these cases end, Europe will close the tabs. That's what the Grand Mullah says. In fact, he'll be on the show tomorrow night, so guys, make sure you watch. Prof, before we answer that, and maybe others.
Well, he has a crystal ball. I don't have one.
Oh, in fact, I was going to go to your crystal ball, and I'll go to it in a minute.
Okay.
You don't come home very often, and you're here for a purpose. Why are you here?
Well, I'm here because I was asked by the Hekima Institute for Peace and International Relations to come and give a keynote address tomorrow on the ICC and transitional justice. So I'll be doing that tomorrow on Riara Road. You're all welcome to come and listen to me.
So this is your warm-up?
Well, no, I don't need to warm up. You know, I'm already warmed up. I was born warmed up. Let me just say that that today we heard the former President of Tanzania, Benjamin Mkapa, give a keynote address on these issues. It's a very important conference. The issues that the conference deals with are the same issues that we are talking about here. How do societies that have been traumatized, be able to repair themselves and address the wounds of the past to be able to go forward?
Okay, good point.
That's what we are doing.
I support initiatives that help integrate communities. In fact, Makau Mutua has for a long time shared one thinking with me on social democracy, where there is a need for capital and the social needs of the poor to be integrated in a managed way. And the new constitution was trying to address that. I hope that when the politics cool down and we implement the new constitution, there can be more sensitive initiatives that not only bring cohesion, but also bring equity.
Yeah. Tomorrow,
Thank you.
Okay, let's go back to the speech the president made in front of both houses. Unprecedented speech, they called it. He called both houses, Senate and members of Parliament, and he addressed them, and he literally handed over power to his deputy under Article 147.3, which everybody quotes now. 147.3. I can quote that. Tony, first of all, your thoughts?
I know, yeah, and I want ex-professor for me, Makau Mutua, to kind of be fair to me on this issue.
Okay.
I believe that every president, every leader has a chance to chart your own history. And I think Uhuru began a rocky start in politics by the nomination by retired President Moi, and then he lost a general election. And he was at one point against the Kibaki administration with the Orange Movement that rejected the first attempt to change the constitution. And then he went into PNU with Kibaki and formed some coalition. In fact, I remember Tony, I just want to be very clear. I think that in the journey of him being a president, he has made certain decisions. But the most important have happened for me this last month. In particular, when he went to Parliament to prepare the country for his going to The Hague, there seemed to be a very coordinated PR effort to go bring the political houses together, invite bipartisan Senate and Parliament, then go to office of the President, hand over power ceremoniously, the drive off with the limousine, the going through the passenger hall at the international airport, going and so on. Now, for better, for worse, I think for better, the president thought this through, and his team, in my view, executed a coup d'etat of PR. Now, if this does have the effect of raising his popularity, then I think he did a major thing. And the speech you're speaking about was actually aimed about that.
Prof, your thoughts?
Yeah, let me just say this. I mean, I was disappointed. This is a poor country, and we all know this. And we know that every single shilling should be devoted to development. Not to empty theater, not to legal mambo-jumbo, not to theatrics. Section 147 of the Constitution is self-executing. That section does not require the president to do anything at all when he's out of the country for Mr. Ruto to act as president.
But the symbolism,
and by the way, but let me just say this. There is nothing in the Constitution that refers to an acting president. I've seen people saying that Mr. Ruto is an acting president. Mr. Ruto is nothing of the sort. That language does not exist in the Constitution.
I'll be very nice.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
He is acting as a president, but he's not an acting president. As a title. There's no title like that.
Excuse me.
Let me just say this.
I have one question.
Every time the president exits the scene, the sovereignty of Kenyan, airspace, Mr. Ruto becomes the effective, governor, of the country. So this, this, I think that what Mr. Kenyatta was thinking. Let me just tell you what he was thinking. First of all, it's good politics to do what he did. Yes. I agree with that. It's good theatrics. It's good, for the common man to say that I'm not taking the sovereignty of 40 million Kenyans, to the Hague. The fact of the matter is that Mr. Kenyatta took the sovereignty of 40 million Kenyans to the Hague because Mr. Kenyatta never resigned as president. That is the only way in which he would not have involved 40 million Kenyans.
He handed over power.
Jeff,
if he had resigned.
Makau Mutua may forget that I was director of protocol for the Republic of Kenya. In fact, I was here when Kofi Annan came. I've always asked the question to the NGO world, who paid Kofi Annan? Who invited him here? He stayed here at the Serena how many months? Who paid him? Who paid his secretariat? I was there when they signed the coalition agreement, Nusu Mukate, in front of the grand media.
Tony, your point
Kibaki and Raila went to parliament. Just hear what I'm saying.
But what is your point, man?
My point is very simple.
Yeah.
Anything that is not done by Makau Mutua's henchman, Raila Odinga, is illegal, expensive, and otherwise. Raila and Kibaki went to Kiraguni. They went to form a cabinet in Sagana. They went everywhere. Nusu Mukate. We had a new office bought here, Shelby P House. Raila wanted a toilet. He wanted guards. Even he asked them today. Where? Who pays for Raila's guards? Who pays? Now, let me tell you this. The president of Kenya making a decision to go to the Hague has a right to inform the representatives of the people of Kenya who are elected that I'm going for these reasons. And he went and had a speech in parliament. He did not go to expend money. Secondly and finally, the idea of the president actually ceding power in writing was not just theatrical. It was real because he was accused as a person, not as a president.
And the opposition had been rallying around saying, you said this was a personal matter.
Yes.
Make it personal.
Yes, he did.
Look, again, I think we are, entering territory that is dangerous for non-lawyers like this guy here. And what I'm trying to say is that Section 147 of the Constitution is self-executing. It just, Mr. Ruto becomes the act as president as soon as Mr. Kenyatta exits, Kenyan airspace. That is just a fact. So for Mr. Kenyatta to purport to sign a document handing over power is nothing but empty political theater. Let me just say this. I think, Tony, you have buyer's remorse.
Here's what?
Buyer's remorse. And let me tell you what. You work for Mr. Odinga.
Yes, I did.
Did you not?
Yes.
And then you exited.
No, I didn't exit.
What happened to you?
I resigned.
Why did you resign? That's why I'm saying your buyer's remorse.
Why? Mr. Odinga is a good man.
But the kind of animals that you just exude against the man is not understandable in my view.
The same way you oppose the president.
But I'm opposing the president based upon a specific charge for crimes against humanity. I have no other opposition to Mr. Kenyatta except that.
But nothing good he does ever, you never comment on that, Prof. You never ever give credit where it's due.
No.
Because all this is...
No. I mean, you are asking me, is that an empirical statement? I mean, are you saying that you have counted the number of things that I've said about him?
You've never praised this administration, Prof. In your articles, in your speeches, nothing.
No, look, I'm not a columnist whose job is to praise governments.
Okay.
That's not my job.
Give credit where it's due.
That's not my job either. Your job, as a journalist, is not to praise governments. Your job is to use your brains and your eyes, and your knowledge to analyze what's going on and to push for change. That's what I've done. I am not a sycophant. I'm not a praise singer. I'm not some of these people who go around saying hallelujah to Jubilee. I'm not one of those people.
Can I be very clear?
Go on.
Can I be very
clear? Tony.
First of all, you must withdraw the statement that you are trying to allude that I'm a sycophant, because I didn't say that. I didn't say you are a sycophant. Very heavy words for you.
I didn't say you are a sycophant.
Want me to use...
Did I say you are a sycophant?
Then please.
I didn't say
that. Because
but they are Jubilee cycle funds, are they not?
Yeah, they are. And
okay, then I'm not saying you are.
I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
I want to go here. And I want to finish it here.
Okay.
I want to say this.
Yes.
And I want to be very, very clear. I have no personal animosity against Raila Odinga. I did not come here to discuss the last election. It was decided by Kenyans in their millions, and they chose a president. What I came here to discuss was the ICC and the office of the prosecutor, who have an innocent man charged because they have no evidence against the crimes against he committed. And I'm here to say international pressure, NGO pressure notwithstanding, you can only be convicted on the evidence. You cannot be convicted on articles, opinions, or the opinion of any lawyer.
Okay. I don't normally read two tweets from the same person, but the Grand Mullah seems to be enjoying this show.
Okay, fine.
He's tweeted back.
Fine.
Grand Mullah says, "Hey, Prof, welcome to Kenya. From the ivory tower of Buffalo to the frying pan of Tony Gachoka."
What frying pan? I mean, Tony Gachoka is a friend of mine, and we are having an open discussion about the future of this country.
Yes,
yeah,
which is important.
And I'm enjoying it.
And debate is good, Prof.
And I'm enjoying
Now
it.
tell me something, Prof.
Yes.
Look into your crystal ball.
Yes.
Like you usually do every week in the Sunday paper.
Yes.
Look into your crystal ball. What do you see going forward for this country, for democracy?
Well, first of all, I must say that I'm very encouraged by some of the developments that I've seen. You've said that I don't, see good things in society, which is wrong. I think the country has discovered, a bunch of, minerals and resources. And I think that's really a great thing. I just hope that we don't give all of it to the Chinese food, for a song. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I think that the future of this country, rests on the youth. Our youth are very innovative. They are very forward-looking, and they want to prosper. They're the future of this country. But I think what is holding back this country is a ravenous elite, And that ravenous elite is not, no one has a corner on the thieving class, political class that we have. They're in Jubilee, they're in CORD, they're in all these political parties, okay? And I think until the youth of this country take back their government from all these thieves, that this country will not go forward.
I have two things to say. This discussion has been polemical, sometimes apologetical, but most important for me, it has been expository. I know Makau Mutua will understand what I've said, but I want to remind him, as much as he knows the law, I know English. Intelligence is the capacity to discover relationships and to deduce correlates that are relevant to the solution of a problem.
Was that English, Tony?
Now, I want to put it to you.
That is just gibberish.
Now, could I be very
clear?
Gibberish. I want to be very clear.
I didn't understand the word you said.
Exactly correct.
Now, let me now break it down for you.
Go on.
There is a crossroads for the world. Right now, the Arab world is fighting together with America over the skies of Iraq to fight ISIS. There has been a change of policy towards Iran. There is many shifts of public and world opinion. I can guarantee you here on Jeff Koinange, and you hear it live first from me, the moment the prosecutor writes to the Assembly of State Parties to discuss the Republic of Kenya, the African Union will write a letter on the same day to discuss the conduct of the office of the prosecutor and the conduct of this case in the case of Uhuru Kenyatta. You can quote Tony Gachoka. I have told you live at JKL. We are going to take the war to them. Africa is of age. You cannot hire a president of an African country and you have no evidence just to degrade him and put on CNN headlines that the first African president, he has come to the ICC in order, as Ahmed Abnazir says, to collect money from the same West who paid Kofi Annan here to create a Nusumukate that almost destroyed this country. Let me say this to the West. You live your life, we live our own. You go and deal with the Middle East where you never take them to ICC. You come to Africa and you take democratic elected leaders and you put them to Makau Mutua.
Let me just say this.
New York Times.
Let me just say this.
Post against his own country. And let me say this. And I want them to hear, because now I will not go. I'm going back to retirement. When you next call me here is when Uhuru shall be free, and I shall say, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, he is free at last.
Oh my.
So
echoes of Dr. King.
So I don't want to say anything bad about my brother here.
Yeah.
But I just want to say that, Tony, for a long time, you've been a wonderful journalist. I used to listen to you on radio. Pithy analyst, very straightforward, very erudite. But I must say that, at times, you surprise me when you become a bloviator and you start to take leave of your senses.
So does your article.
No,
even your articles every
just
Sunday.
finish. No, you've spoken. I think so. Right
You
now,
have to read
right now, when you start acting as a hysterical individual here, you shock me. You're supposed to be an intellectual. You're supposed to be calm and collected. So let me just say this to you. I don't know what's going to happen with the cases, but I sure hope for a fact that the Kenya government produces whatever evidence it has, because I think that is the only way that Mr. Kenyatta will be able to clear his name. If these cases end up in a way that leaves a cloud hanging over his head, either because people believe that evidence was concealed, or witnesses were disappeared, or they were bribed, the inference that will be drawn by the public at large, both Kenyan and international, is that there was something to hide.
Mr. Kenyatta, the reason you're taken to court, there's a winner and a loser, and you're a winner.
Okay,
you
gentlemen,
can't all win.
At the end of the day, let's not forget 1,300 people died in that conflict.
They did die.
You don't want this country to go down that road again.
Yes.
Exactly correct.
Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Prof.
Thank you so much,
Good
man.
to see you as always.
Thank you so much, man.
Good luck tomorrow in the speech. And we'll see you next time you're in town.
Thank you. By the way, great book you wrote.
Oh, thanks so much.
I love that book.
I appreciate it.
And I want other Kenyans to write books like that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Real quick question.
Yes.
President Kenyatta offered you a job. Would you take it?
I'll think about it.
Jeff, I would advise him against it. This is John Githongo's lawyer. He might tip the president. No. Uru, no. Don't over him.
Gentlemen, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you.
My goodness, what a show. What guests we have today. Tony Gachoka. Not disappoint. Keep tweeting at Tony Gachoka, at Makau Mutua, at koinange. The hashtag is JKL. Tomorrow night, you heard, same time, same place, the Grand Mullah shows up. He's been having a tweef. That's a fight on Twitter. Like a Twitter beef. A tweef with none other than Kakamega Senator Bonnie Khalwale. The bullfighter himself will also show up. It's gonna be a massive show tomorrow night as well. And you can only get it right here on JKL, only on Kenya's television network, KTN. Thanks so much for watching. Good night. Good luck. Oh my.
Oh my.
What a show.
What a show. What a gang.